It's time to put SurferSEO's AI writer to the test. So I've seen a lot of people reviewing this, but they do one post and then they move on. And they typically take it easy on the AI. I'm not here to take it easy. I don't believe in that. I like to push things. So I am going to push the buttons of SurferSEO's AI tool and see, how does it actually work? How good is it actually? If you're not familiar, SurferSEO recently released this one-click AI writer that essentially what it does is you give it a keyword, it'll write the post, you can edit the outline as it goes, or like before it writes it, it'll write the post and then it's going to fill it with a bunch of those like the terms that are optimized via Surfer. So you know that like pedometer, speedometer, whatever thing that they have where it's like it's 80 or 90% optimized. It's that. And that's the way that they're saying it's SEO optimized. I don't know that I fully rely on that, but I wanted to give it a shot. So I bought 7 credits and I was like, let's record every single one of these. Why not? So we are going to be going through 7 common travel blog type keywords. We're going to do an itinerary, a things to do, a hotel roundup, all sorts of stuff. And we're going to see it in real time, what it actually does and how it works. So the first one that we're going to start with is the hardest. I thought I might leave it till later, but I was like, no, let's start on the thing that like realistically is the one that would be most helpful to us. So we're going to start with a hotel roundup post, which yes, might not be super fair to start with. I don't care about fair. This thing is marketed as a one-click AI writer that can write anything. It doesn't say, oh, it's only certain use cases. It says, we're going to give you an SEO optimized article that will rank. I wanted to test that. So join me and we're going to dive into actually testing this. We're going to do 7 videos. So the first 6 will be an individual video of each keyword. As we go through the process, you're going to see me really evaluate it in real time, which is also going to let you know like how I handle these kind of posts and how I evaluate a keyword to see like, is it a good type of content for that keyword? Which is something I typically only do in my paid groups. So you're getting a bit of behind the scenes of me tearing down some articles and talking about what matters to SEO. So then the last video is going to be me pitting a bunch of AI writers against each other. So we're going to do Surfer, Koala, Jasper, free ChatGPT, paid ChatGPT, and WriterZen, which is the most comprehensive one I've seen so far. I'm not saying it's going to stay the most comprehensive, and I'm not doing this to like necessarily be better than other people doing it. I'm just interested in how these hold up against each other. I think that's important to know, and I want to find out. So without further ado, we're going to start going through this hotel roundup post. And if you like and subscribe, you'll get notified for all the different videos to see how it handles a bunch of different use cases. Before we do the test, I do need to say, what is SurferSEO's one-click AI writer? SurferSEO is best known as a content optimization tool where you can go in, put in a keyword, and it's going to tell you what words you should include, how long it should be, the number of headers, images. It'll give you a suggested, like, not really a suggested title, but it'll like help you based on the competitors' titles, kind of. And essentially, it almost gamifies SEO to be like, okay, include these keywords, these must words, as I would call them. They call them terms, essentially just like not keywords, but words you need to mention. Think like if you were doing a post on things to do in Toronto, you have to mention the CN Tower. Otherwise, people are like, are you talking about Toronto? Even if as a local, I'd be like, don't go there. It's such a waste of time. So that's what this really does. And with most AI writers, the thing that people have struggled with is that it doesn't have any SEO component. It isn't built for keywords. It doesn't really care about using them a certain number of times. It doesn't know about must words or these terms or whatever they want to call them. So they tend to give you content that you still need to go through and adjust to be like, okay, shove my keyword in a couple places, make sure it mentioned the right stuff, whatever. Also, most people hate spending the time working with an AI writer. They really want an AI writer that's going to be one click, give them an article that they can post on their site. And that's basically how Surfer has marketed this. It's $29 per article, and on top of that, you need to have an active Surfer plan. The lowest plan is $29 per month, and you only get 3 content optimizers now. They've changed it from before when it was like, I think it was like 12 or something. So you're getting significantly less for your money, and then also having this on top as another charge. So when you then do that, you're really comparing it to things like ChatGPT, which is $29 a month for the GPT-4 plan, or there's the free one. Jasper recently changed their pricing model so that now there's unlimited words on all plans. And then Koala Writer, which is like $29 a month for, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like 40,000 words. And yes, that is less if you're using GPT-4 in it. It reduces a bit, I think by a third. You're still getting over 10,000 words of content. And considering many articles with Surfer I've seen are about 2,500 words, that's 4 articles for the price of 1 article on Surfer. So this better be good, is all I can say after having spent the money on it. So we are going to be testing this to see, okay, how does it work? So I'm going to be taking you through exactly how you set it up, where you give it the keyword, where you adjust the outline and everything, and where you can make changes to things. And then we're going to check the output. So that's what we're doing today. That's what this AI writer is. And from there, we are going to, see how good it actually is. So I found a keyword that I wanted to check that's an affiliate keyword. I think that AI, the thing it really struggles with is specifics and affiliates and things like that, especially something like this where the top 10 have like booking.com, hotels.com, Expedia, TripAdvisor. So I want to give this one a shot. If it's a one-click writer, this would be a great thing for it to be good at. And especially if it's claiming that it's SEO optimized, 100%, I will say, you are going to need to edit this for sure. So I've put in the main keyword and then a couple variations of it, just in case it has slightly different top 10s for it to pull from, or slightly different must words. This is still the thing that Surfer can do that no other AI writer so far lets you do, is inputting this many variations of a keyword and being able to pull the results for the variations of a keyword. So let's give it a go. Okay, so the dog-friendly hotels article now is letting me complete it. So let's go into this. So here's where we're going to get to make our selections. So tone of voice, my tone of voice is pretty, like, this is the thing, is I always use a few, so I never really know which individual one to select. I'd probably say conversational or casual. To me, those are kind of the same thing. I don't know, conversational sounds nice, so let's go with that. I don't like that I haven't been able to find any examples of these tones. If anyone knows of any, please let me know, but I think that's kind of frustrating. I don't care about AI detection. It's irrelevant to me. So, and I don't want it to like mess up what this is going to do is try to make unnatural language so that it doesn't trigger the detectors. Realistically, the detectors don't work very well. So no. And then yes, of course, I want to look at my outline. Now we can look at the competitors and see which ones we want to include. So it's always interesting to me which ones it selects and doesn't select. I would say like Bring Fido is a good one to have, except like just for the names of them. I get that the structure isn't great. But yeah, to me, I would want to include that. And like, these are all legitimate ones that make sense to me. So I don't know. I'm going to give me a second and I'm going to go take a look at the competitors and see. So it does seem like its issue with them is that they just list the stuff, but every result for this one does just list the stuff. So we're going to toggle everyone on. I don't know if that's a good idea or a bad idea, but let's see. I think also like because they are just lists of them, this is going to still like they still show some information on them. So I wanted to pull that information, but it's more about like the hotels specifically that it can reference that I want to pull from. So let's create the outline and we'll see how, I don't know how long this takes. So I will pause and come back. Okay, that was about 5 minutes, I would say. I did get distracted, to be honest, as I always do, but we got the outline here. So I don't love the title, but that's because it was generated by like what they saw in the other ones, and the top results were booking.com and things like that. So like, of course, it's not going to be perfect. So I would probably switch this around and say, I always like to have a number, so I'll figure out the number after. And then, and I would play around with the title more later, but I just want to put up front and center the keyword. I don't think the title will massively change what comes below. I think if I did put the number of things here, it might. But what I really want to see is, okay, so we have, I don't know why it would say top when best is like almost always a secondary keyword. So then we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I would much rather have more than that, to be honest. And then it has, I like that it goes into like benefits of choosing a pet-friendly hotel, services, exploring Ottawa with your dog. To me, these two are the same thing. We'll see what it does, because again, like with Surfer, you're paying per credit. The word count doesn't matter. So I would rather have too long of a post and cut it down. So unlike other writers where it is word count based for like Koala or something for what it generates, this is just per article. So then we have budget friendly, but I think it's just pulling 3 from above, right? So we have the Windham, Kanata is a new one, and then Marriott Airport is a new one. And then some of these are different. I don't know that I love this. And I want to be able to say that I would just let it run, but realistically, I wouldn't. I would adjust this. So I'm going to adjust it and be right back. Okay, so basically, I took out the budget and the luxury thing because I realized they just don't really fit the intent that I'm going for. And this is the structure I use for this kind of stuff. So I put 17 hotels. I live in Ottawa, so like I know the dog-friendly hotels there. And interestingly, it didn't pick up on like the main 2 that are so good for dog-friendly stuff and that are more expensive. Interestingly, with dog-friendly hotels, like more expensive up front, but you actually like save a fair amount because it's free to have dogs there, as many as you want. So I was like, yeah, why wouldn't those be there? So yeah, so I've changed this and done 17 of them. Interestingly, what I realized as I did it is that you can only have so many things in this outline. So at a certain point, I could add, I think, how many was that? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So I have 8 extra spots basically, but that's all it's going to let you do in the outline. And that's an interesting thing to consider if you're doing like a massive things to do post where you might need 100 things. So there are definitely limitations to your ability with this outline to have custom stuff, which is definitely a problem with one-click blog writers. Like they're always going to have a limitation like this. Now I've decided to leave the rest of it as is and just see what happens. So yeah, now we're going to write it. And this is going to take a bit, so I will come back when it's done. Just one thing to note, I think it's really funny that the custom things that it changes to are all like dog related. I think that's such like a random but cute detail. So it's like, yeah, our team of dog lovers are on the case filtering out accommodations that don't cut the kibble. And it keeps cycling to new ones this whole time. So as it's generating the post, it's generating this entertainment for me. And I'll be honest, I'm entertained. Okay, we started at 8:06. It's 8:21 now, so that was about 15 minutes, which is really good. The last minute and a half or so, I was texting a friend, so might have also been done a minute earlier, to be fair. So here we've got the post. Let's go through it. So first we have the content score. This is obviously Surfer's thing. It's like what they're known for mostly. So we have 80 out of 100, which is pretty good. Typically, though, I'll be honest, I wouldn't go over 70. I do find that it likes to over-optimize with like kind of the 70 plus. I would say like 75 is where I might like firmly stop. So I think that would change if I go through and like edit some stuff myself and add in my personal experience. I also do not put images in here. So it has randomly selected images, I guess, to throw in because it says it has 6. And so I don't know like what this image is or how to see it. So I'm not sure what's going on there. I haven't seen that. So I feel like it's just it putting an image block and telling me to add something here. Not really sure. So interesting. Haven't seen that in other reviews so far. So odd thing to stumble upon. For words, we got 2,500 words, which is like within its realm of what it thinks it should be. Fair. We'll go through and see if that actually seems to fit or not. We got 31 headings. It always underestimates headings, and I don't really know why, but for this one especially, because the top 10 are going to be like booking.com and stuff, there just really aren't headers the same way. Again, I always find it wants fewer paragraphs. I want a lot of paragraphs. I want as many paragraphs as possible. Yeah, and then the images will change when I add more. So that's kind of why I think I do like 70, 75, is because I know it's going to go up once there's images in it too. I never want to go for 100. It just feels way too like overdone. So, okay, so we've got our title that I put in. Now we've got its intro. I typically do not like an intro written by an AI. I just find them really generic and boring, and they don't follow any of my intro writing stuff. So like the keyword isn't in the first sentence. Well, you're in luck is just a waste of words to me. It never asked me if it was we or I, but this is a site that I run. So for me, it'd be singular, I would much rather be able to specify that, which is something that I do like with Koala. So I've put together the ultimate guide to the best dog-friendly hotels, Ottawa. Again, I feel like it should have caught that and put in Ottawa. So you can explore the city with your canine companion by your side. From luxurious historic hotels to cozy extended stays, we've got you covered. So let's dive in and find the perfect pet-friendly hotel for you and your pup. So the problem with this for me, keyword's not in the first sentence. Why should they listen to me? What is my experience? What is my expertise? What am I going to help them with? It doesn't mention any specific hotels. And I do think it is a really good idea to mention the hotels early, even just a couple. That way people get a sense of like you're going to help them. It also doesn't mention any pain points here. What are people worried about when traveling with their dog? Can they leave the dog in the hotel unattended? Is there a pet fee? How many dogs? Size of dog? Hotels have all of those issues that like it has not referenced at all. So for me, this is quite thin content, and that's kind of to be expected, but is an issue to consider. And it's why I really prefer Jasper and ChatGPT for writing intros at the moment, because I can control the intro and I can give my expertise, experience. I can teach it the structure. It'll follow the structure. With these one-click AI writers, you just can't do that. Then it gives a short summary. I just find that they don't do a great job with the short summaries. Like to me, a short summary would be, here are the top 3 sort of a thing. Yeah, so I don't know that I really like this. It also didn't give me the option to like not have that. And then here as well, it just put a bunch of like nonsense here that I don't think is really super helpful. So Ottawa is a city that caters to pet lovers, offering a wide range of dog-friendly hotels that suit every budget and preference. It's so wishy-washy. Like, who are we talking to? I really wish there was like an option in any of these one-clicks to be like, who is your target audience? Because I think that would really improve them to be able to say, this is who I'm talking to. This is who matters and like who we're going for. Because talking, like, I always give the example of like Rome at night. Like nightlife or things to do at night in Rome, it's very different for a retired couple or for like someone on spring break. Like those people or even for parents, all those 3 people have very different things in mind and very different language you're going to use. Like my TikTok right now has like Riz all over it. I don't know what that is. I'm afraid to Google it, honestly. So like there's slang terms that certain generations use differently that will change your entire post. So it feels like this is just restating the intro again, which I'm not a fan of. Yeah, and then whether you're looking for a luxurious stay. And so I think this part is better than the one in the intro because it doesn't, like this one actually name drops a couple things. So whether you're looking for the historic Fairmont Chateau Laurier or a cozy home away from home, you're bound to find the perfect accommodation for you and your furry friend. Still not great. I would definitely rewrite everything so far pretty significantly. So here we've got the Fairmont Chateau. Okay, so the historic Fairmont Chateau Laurier is a luxurious pet-friendly hotel located just 20 minutes from downtown Ottawa and the airport. Not true. It is the heart of downtown. This elegant hotel boasts original Tiffany stained glass windows, hand-molded plaster decorations dating back to 1912, and exquisite dining options. I don't know about the windows, but yes to the other stuff. I feel like maybe to the windows. I'm not sure. I have to check that. With 426 guest rooms, including 33 luxury suites, you and your pup will be treated like royalty. Like, just none of this matters. And I kind of knew this, like, I'll be honest, I did this and ran this test for you guys expecting that it wouldn't be great. I have yet to find any one click that can do affiliate articles well because you can't structure them. So in Jasper or even in ChatGPT, I would have instructed it that this is how I want these formatted. So I want it to include things like size of pet, how many pets, yeah, can you leave them in the room alone? The Fairmonts are amazing because they always have hotel dogs that you can rent. Like, so you can go to the front desk and be like, hey, can I walk the hotel dog? And then take the hotel dog for a walk, which is great. So they usually, like, they call them like the dog concierge or whatever. None of that gets mentioned here. Are there like welcome treats for your dogs? Some hotels, like I love a Kimpton in the US because they always have like a dog walking service that's discounted if you stay there. So it's like, I think 20% off or something. Don't quote me on that. Check with your local Kimpton. They also don't have a pet fee, so I don't have to pay to have my dog there. All that stuff is stuff to consider. None of that's included here. You also sometimes need to like be like, okay, is there what rooms allow dogs? That's something to consider. Again, doesn't say any of that here. So then the Le Germain, it's not cozy, I'll be honest. It's like, it's beautiful, but it's fancy and it's in the heart of Byward Market. So like when my dad and sister come to visit with their dogs, that's where they stay. And it is fancy. But that's because they have 3 dogs. So it's cheaper to stay in a fancy place with 3 dogs than to stay in a inexpensive one and then have 3 rooms to be allowed to have the dog. Yeah, so again, tells me nothing about it. Same for the Alt Hotel, same for the Arc. So this one like mentions the word pet friendly policy because it's over here. Doesn't really actually help me. And then also what I don't like here is the random inconsistency in size. So like the Novotel is much longer than the ones ahead of it, even though like I would say the first 3 should be significantly longer than these ones. Yeah, so this is going to need significant edits, which to me is like not worth $29. Like I could hire a beginner writer and I would get something better than this for like off. I could find one like someone on Fiverr for $5 or something per 1,000 words, get a, I don't know, what's 5 times 3? Jesus, Nina. Like I could pay $29 and get this full thing done properly, even with some maybe limited English or something. And yes, I will say I would never do that. That is far too cheap to pay for a writer. You should 100% pay people their worth, having been a freelance writer. But I'm just saying, like, for reference, the amount of time I'm going to have to spend editing this and double checking things is going to take me more time. I would rather have just paid someone like $100 to write this at the beginning. Yeah, it's just weird. And then with the different things it's picking up on, like, since this does have GPT-4 enabled, it should be able to like go in and look more at the hotel, but it seems like it's really only looking at like surface level what was in the top 10, and it's not going into like booking.com like one level deeper to actually learn about these hotels, which is something I didn't realize. Like, I don't know if that's me expecting too much or something, but these are going to need significant rewrites. Okay. And I think most people, this is like why people don't use one-clicks for these in their samples, but that's why I wanted to do a sample on this. Like, I was okay, quote unquote, wasting the $29 to show you guys what it's like. I do think it's important to know before you guys waste your money on these types of posts. So choosing a pet-friendly hotel comes with several benefits, such as convenience and cost savings. I don't think that's fully true. You can avoid the hassle of searching for pet care while you're away and eliminate the need to pay for boarding or pet sitting services, as well as any additional pet fee. But the pet fee comes from the hotel, so what are you talking about? No, they don't offer discounts and packages for owners. And tours typically cost more when they include pets and stuff because they're fancier. Yeah, so none of that's true. Yeah, you don't have to like worry about your pet being with somebody else, but there's a lot of considerations and like rental car issues, all sorts of stuff. So, and so then here we've got some, so we've got some amenities and services. It just doesn't say which hotels have them above, and it wasn't referenced above. So this is just general bullshit at this point if it's going to be here. Okay, then we have exploring Ottawa with your dog. It just lists a bunch of parks. I mean, it's right. These are dog-friendly parks, which is good. Gatineau Park, some places, not all. It's a provincial park as well, so I would never just call it Gatineau Park. But yeah, I don't think Whalesbone has a dog-friendly patio. The other 2 do. And interestingly, it doesn't pick up on a lot of like really common dog-friendly things. So, like the Mill Street Brewery has like one of the most famous dog-friendly patios in Ottawa. There's just a lot that it's not picking up on. So I get that it's like not the focus of the article, but it really half-asses this section. And to me, like I don't want to half-ass any section of my post. So this is why like I'm still not sold on one-click writers yet. Okay, when it's traveling with your dog to Ottawa, it's essential to research the pet policies and rules of the hotels you plan to stay in. Yeah, we're supposed to tell them those things. So like, and we didn't. We've failed. So by being prepared, you can ensure safe, comfortable, bring their food, water, bowls, leashes. No, I'm gonna be honest. I think this is a fail of a post. Right now, I'm gonna say it. This is not a good post. This will not convert for you at all. Then it has booking your pet friendly. Oh, I didn't even realize it would have summary and like. See, this is the thing. It didn't include summary or FAQs in the summary outline it gave me before. So I didn't expect those. I thought this booking your pet friendly hotel in Ottawa was the conclusion, which is interesting. So, okay, so joining hotel loyalty programs such as IHG rewards can also help, which is true. And IHG is like my, other than the Fairmonts, which are like insanely expensive. So not my, I wish I was the kind of person that I'm starting to make that kind of money, but it's not consistent enough yet in my brain that I would spend $800 a night on a hotel regularly. But IHG are my preferred pet-friendly rewards. So I do like that they picked up on that. I didn't tell them that, which is nice. IHG has really good pet-friendly hotels, so that's good. Okay, so conclusion. I hate that it calls it summary, but I understand that and I can't adjust it. In summary, Ottawa is a fantastic destination for pet owners, offering a wide range of pet-friendly hotels and attractions to explore with your furry friend. By choosing a pet-friendly hotel, you can enjoy a comfortable and enjoyable stay with all the necessary amenities and services catered to your pet's needs. With our comprehensive guide to the best pet-friendly hotels in Ottawa, you'll be well equipped to plan your next trip to this beautiful city with your canine companion by your side. Bullshit. Like, that is such a bad conclusion. Yeah, I've yet to find an intro or a conclusion from a one-click that I have not completely rewritten. I might keep one sentence max, but this tells you nothing. Like, this doesn't restate anything. It has no CTA. It has no option to give a CTA for like the next thing people can do. It doesn't say what the best thing was. Never have we said that. And even above, like, these don't connect to each other at all, where it's like, hey, Fairmont Chateau Laurier is amazing, but it's super expensive. The Leisure Main is like still pretty expensive, but really nice. The Alt is like a little bit more normal pricing. However, it's still like, I would still say it is not a cheap hotel, but because of their pet fees, it's kind of okay. Like, it works out. But the Leisure Main is in a really busy spot, so the Alt is in a quieter spot, that sort of a thing. Like, and it doesn't connect those at all. It doesn't deal with any pain points ever. This is why writers are not out of a job, to be honest. So yeah, and then these FAQs are not super well optimized, and also are not like, they're not specific to this post. So, can my dog stay in a hotel? That's super general. What size dog can stay in hotels? Again, very general, and we've never referenced this above the way we should have. What does pet-friendly hotel mean? Pretty obvious, but okay, and I don't think I've ever seen that. Also, can everyone stop saying furry friends? It just makes me think of like furries, like those people in like the mascot costumes and stuff, and then I just like feel gross looking at my dog or something. Like, not to kink shame people, but when someone like refers to my dog that way, I just go like, are you sexualizing my dog? And then that feels very weird. It might just be an issue I have, but like, ever since my friends told me about that, I was like, what is happening? Okay, I would never start an FAQ with a question. That's just weird. And again, it's just not actually giving, like, these aren't activities. It's just a walk. So we don't have a variety of activities here. How do I find the best pet-friendly hotel deals in Ottawa? Yeah, it's just basically half of this post just says do your research, and it's like, the point is they've come here for us to have done the research mostly for them. They want to do a bit of research. So yeah, honestly, I'm not impressed with this. I don't think this is a good quality article. I would not publish this on any site of mine, even like one that I was unless, okay, if I was like seeding a site with 20 posts to sell for $1,000, fine, maybe, but like I wouldn't buy that post or that site then. And that's why I don't do it, because I don't sell those kind of things. But yeah, not great. So not a huge fan. When it comes to the must words added in, I think it included a lot. It didn't do an amazing job. And what I don't like is that I couldn't see them before. Like, it would have been nice during the outline phase to have been able to see this. Because like, what if like I removed something that it says is necessary? So I took out this one, the Windham, Canada West, Ottawa, because to me, like, Canada's 25 minutes from downtown. Like, I used to live there. So like, I know where it is. It's not downtown Ottawa. And to me, the point of this is downtown Ottawa. Now, also, many of these just weren't included in the outline it gave me to begin with anyway, but I did remove this. And that means it couldn't write it. So I don't see why it doesn't give you the option to see this at the same time, so that you'd be able to be like, okay, yeah, this is whatever it is, and it's going to be one of my, like, one of the many hotels in this list. So not a huge fan of that. I also just think like it also decided pet friendly would be hyphenated when like the keyword wasn't hyphenated, and it wasn't hyphenated in my title or in any of the headers I gave it. And that really frustrates me. Like, you can't give it style guide stuff, because then again, it's a little edit, but hitting backspace space, if I have to do that 40 times in this post, that's still like 40 clicks of my life I'm not getting back, and that's not great. It also just like missed some. So like Ottawa pet friendly hotels was one that like I fed it as a secondary keyword, and it just didn't include ever. So yeah, I think it's, and then furry friend 12 times, Jesus. So there's a lot here, but like left unattended, like to me that's an important thing, and it's never mentioned. Yeah, the walking distances stuff, free Wi-Fi. Like, I think free Wi-Fi was mentioned, but it's capitalized, so it didn't pick it up. So to me, it picked up on some and then left a bunch of other ones. But like, yeah, I don't know. I leave this post going, where are these hotels? Why should I stay in them? How do they help me as a dog owner? And as a dog owner, I can tell you right now, they don't. So not great. So then it has like the general outline here as usual for Surfer, and then like the brief. I don't know why it leaves this outline builder, because it's now made this outline for me, and it's not great. So like I don't know why it would also still have that. Yeah, I also don't like that I then can't like work with it to edit stuff. Like, what I'm gonna have to do now is take this, put it in ChatGPT or Jasper, and rewrite the whole post. So this was not a successful one-click experiment, clearly. And yeah, probably going to get in trouble for being a bit harsh, but I think that's important to say. So this is how Surfer handled an affiliate post that I think is a really common travel affiliate style, where like we don't have a top 10 of specifically travel blogs all the time, which would have made its life easier. I'm not here to make Surfer's life easier. It's here to make my life easier. So I don't want to do an example for y'all that like makes it look better. I want to do an example for y'all that is real. So this is how it works. And I will be back with another article type for you.